do, 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 do. Hey, kia ora. Helen Brahms here, coming to you live from Surprise in Arizona. Hope you're having a super fantastic, sparkling day. Welcome to Porch Light Letters podcast number 2134. Surrender Isn't Giving Up. This is part 3 of our surrender series. And if you have been following us, then you know that last night we did our very first Porch Light Letters podcast. So you're probably thinking, hang on, this is the first time I'm seeing you. You're on day 2 of Porch Light Letters podcast, and yet you're already on episode 2134. We have a trend going. We started on the 1st of August 2019 of doing a live every single day. And we're up to live 2134. This is our third transition on our podcast name. We started off as Helen's Adventures. We've been before the Dirt Nap up until yesterday when we switched to being Porch Light Letters podcast. So, but the numbers are still continuing on because it's a day, not an episode. So yeah, that makes it just a little bit different. So if you're wondering about that, that's why. So today is part 3 of the surrender series where we're talking about surrender isn't giving up. Surrender gets a bad reputation. It sounds like quitting, like failure, like weakness. But surrender isn't giving up. It's giving over the need to control everything, giving over the pressure to know what's next, giving over the fight to force what's not meant for you. Ooh, that's some powerful stuff in there. What it teaches us, surrender is a conscious choice, not a collapse. You have to make a choice as to whether or not you are going to surrender or keep moving within the direction you're going. It's the shift from force to flow. It requires more courage than control ever did. Surrender doesn't mean you stop caring. It means you stop carrying what's not yours. So think about all that stuff that you're carrying, that you're carrying for somebody else. Maybe it's time to surrender those things to the person that's supposed to be carrying them. Surrender what's not yours. What happens when we avoid surrender? We grip tighter to what's slipping away. We mistake control for safety. Yeah, I can agree with that. We think that we are in control, and so we grip tighter. It's, there's a lot of stuff going on in everybody's life, and for me, I'm getting ready for a move to New Zealand, so I am gripping tight to the fact of my moving date, knowing I have to stay fluid on it because it all depends on Zeffie and when she's cleared to travel. So I know the dates are going to shift around and things like that, but I am determined that I am going on my departure date to head back to New Zealand, but I'm gripping on it tighter, and I know that departure date is probably going to change. So I'm trying to control it because I want to feel safe. But if I allow myself to release the grip I have on it, things will flow a lot smoother. Other things that happen when we avoid surrender is we exhaust ourselves trying to fix or prove or hold it all together. We delay peace by chasing certainty. Yeah, there's times you just got to let things go and just take that leap of faith. Yesterday we talked about taking that step of faith. Knowing that it's there without actually seeing it, believing that it is there without seeing it. How to practice true surrender. Let your body lead. Where is it holding the tension, and start there. If you are in tune with your body, you know exactly where certain tensions are being held. You know that if you release the tension from your shoulders, then you know that you're helping your body to surrender the weight it's been carrying in that area for whatever it's carrying it for. You would know in your own body, in your own mind, what part of your body is carrying tension for what. So start there. Speak it out loud. I release this even if I don't fully understand how. Even if you don't fully understand how, the mind will go to work to help you release it, and it may or may not explain it to you. So choose curiosity over control. Ask, what is life showing you? What are you missing? When you are so tied up with control, you miss opportunities, you miss other things, you miss other joys in life going past. I am trying to learn to release that right now, because I know I have a very curious mind. I am curious about a lot of things, and there's days where I find myself holding on so tightly. I don't ask a question of myself. I don't get curious about something and go and research it a little more. I just, because I'm gripping so tight. When I release that gripping, the creativity starts coming back in, the curiosity's there as well. Trust that release is not the end. It's a handoff to something wiser. You could be handing off tension or stuff that you have been hanging on to that isn't even yours. Why are you hanging on to somebody else's stuff? Trust the release is not the end. Begin with one small thing that you can stop forcing today. Just one thing. Everything begins with one simple step. Even if you can't see the path, you can't see the staircase that you're climbing, you can't see anything. It is black out there, and you're taking a step of faith into the darkness because you can't see. The light hasn't been turned on yet. Somebody forgot to turn on the porch light. And you're taking that, even at night, when you think about when you step down off a porch, you got the porch light glowing, but the glow of that lamp only goes so far. So you're stepping off the porch into the unknown. And everything begins with that simple, small step of releasing. Our legacy connection is when we model surrender, we give others permission to live gently. I like that. When we model surrender, we give others permission to live gently. I like living gently. Also like with a little bit of pace as well. We show them that peace is not passive, it's powerful. There is a lot of power when you just take a moment and go quiet. And that moment going quiet could be sitting in your favorite spot and just closing your eyes and just absorbing what is around you. What sounds do you hear? It could be that you're curled up in your favorite blanket and you're just sitting there and feeling how that blanket feels on your skin, the soft silkiness of that blanket. How does it feel on your skin? There is power in those moments. And sometimes in those moments we get clarity, which is a very powerful thing to get. And that grace doesn't mean we've given up. It means that we've made space for something greater. So when we surrender something, we are creating space. It is like, I liken surrendering to decluttering. When you declutter a closet, you now have more space. It doesn't mean you have to fill that closet, but here is something about physically decluttering a closet will actually create more space here. And when you create more space in your mind, you get more productivity, more creativity, more curious about things, and you start seeing things a little differently. So remember, when you release something, you're making space for something else. So that grace doesn't mean we're given up. It means we've made space for something greater. Means that you are decluttering. It could be decluttering your brain, but if you can declutter something physical, it will also create the declutter within your brain as well. Your reflection questions for tonight, they are in the comments down below. And if you grab yourself a copy of Porch Light Reflection Journal by scanning the QR code up here in the left-hand corner, then you can write your questions on the blank pages that are there. So the 3 questions we have for you tonight are: what am I gripping tightly that might be safe to release? Think about that. What is something you're gripping tightly that might be safe to release, but you're holding on to it so tightly that you can't see that if you let it go, it's okay. You are safe. What's the difference between quitting and surrendering in my life? There's a good question for you. What's the difference between quitting and surrendering? I'm going to let you all answer that one. What would shift if I allowed surrender to be sacred? If you allowed your space of surrender to be sacred, what would shift? Mentally, physically, what will shift? Surrender isn't giving up. It's remembering you were never meant to carry it all. So I'm going to give that to you again. Surrender isn't giving up. It's remembering you were never meant to carry it all. You've got some stuff that you're supposed to carry, but we're not asking you to take on things of everybody else to carry it for them. We all have to carry our own burdens or our own anxieties, stresses, and everything else. We can't put that on somebody else's shoulders to carry. We have to carry it ourselves. So when you're doing that, you're surrendering what you're not supposed to carry, but you can also surrender what you are carrying that's personal to you, that is your burden to carry or your weight to carry. You can surrender that as well to make room for better things to come in. So with that, we are out of here. Go out, have a super fantastic sparkling evening, and we will catch you guys back here, tomorrow evening at 6 p.m. Pacific. Hei konara.